I'm Darren.
I'm Derek.
I'm Denim.
And this is the Double D Podcast.
Thanks for having me back, guys.
Welcome. How does it feel being the first and only so far Double D Podcast Hall of Famer? How's your life changed?
Well, I'm beating the women away with a stick. I've dealt with a little bit more paparazzi than I'm used to.
I know, right?
But I'm handling it well, and I'll be excited when you guys add a second person, so maybe some of that will get distributed a little bit.
Yeah, we don't. I haven't even thought about it yet. That's a year-end thing, so we're gonna see what happens over the summer. But I mean, I have some people in mind.
So you may be screwed for the next year.
That's why Denim gets on these.
Deal with it then. It's definitely an honor. I've got the trophy up actually in the room that I'm in right now. It's up there with a bunch of my other trophies, and pretty happy to have it.
Yeah, I was happy to give it to you too. It was cool. It was cool to be inside of a wrestling ring.
I was happy it survived. If you remember, I was holding it when I got kind of blindsided by the mysterious mask guy, and I thought I might lose it. I'm so glad I didn't.
Yeah, I was going to say, that was the first thing that went through my head was as I handcrafted that trophy that was definitely not made of plastic at all.
Yes. And I appreciate that.
And, well, yeah, and we are going to get your name on this wall sometime. I have to figure it out because I'm not allowed to put holes in the wall. But we're going to get your name on a plaque, and we're going to add people's names to it as we go along.
That is definitely the way to do it, man. That keeps it something special and like year to year and stuff. Right. And I definitely like that. I actually have been considering doing that for some stuff at Battle on the Border as well. For instance, like the Darren Blevins Invitational, the Bobby Fulton Battle Royal, the Golden Ticket Rumble, and some of the different once-a-year events. I've thought about having a plaque like that as well. I think that is really good memorabilia.
Yeah, it's just a good way to remember.
By the way, your mom is really good at basketball.
Yeah, man. For a 61-year-old lady, she's pretty good. I was proud of her. My aunt was out there playing basketball at 70 years old. My dad was playing in the tournament at 66. And then all the way down to, my nephew Carter playing at 10 years old. So it's a pretty good family event, raise some money, and keep my brother's name alive. And it's fun to do that with two things that he loved, doing it with the Battle on the Border people before an event. And then Jeremy was a big basketball player, so it's really good to just raise some money, and those kids keep remembering him. And I always say if you lose like a loved one, the best thing you can do is like honor them by keeping their name alive and then keeping all their attributes alive within you. So that's kind of what I'm trying to do.
Oh, yeah.
It was a great event. I just did realize how out of shape I truly am after 2 games of basketball. I was sore for a couple days after. You know what? But next year I'm coming into it. I'm going to be in shape. I'm going to be ready.
I was going to say, you got a full year to prepare.
Yeah, taking the competition by storm.
I do know next year we have another female team jumping in, so that might be some tough competition.
Damn.
I mean,
just thought it wouldn't get any worse.
The girls, they make their own rules, too.
They do.
Yeah, we got to take 10 feet away from them.
That shit? Yeah, your mom created that rule.
Just said she's going to cover.
Who's going to argue with it, right? I mean, I wouldn't.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to argue.
Your mom was specifically covering me, right?
I actually don't know that specifically. I don't know how the game went. I do remember that comment being mentioned, though.
Exactly.
So let's go over the last show there in Morrow, Ohio. What was your thoughts on the overall show?
Well, I was happy with a lot of things about it. I was happy to have that Darren Blevins Invitational, our first ever time doing a hardcore tournament. The 4 guys that were in that, I was really happy with. Congrats to Hooks for winning that. Took me forever to clean it up afterwards, which, I mean, what do you expect when you got 3 hardcore matches, right?
Yeah.
Cost me a canvas. I had to buy a canvas this week. But, yeah, other than that, I was pretty happy. I really like that venue. There was a few things that kind of were good shocks. And I know a lot of the Battle on the Border Brigade were surprised. I mean, Scotty Amos being back in the roster, good addition. The Brandon Day thing with Shane Douglas, I mean, that was obviously pretty surprising there. We've got that mask guy running around. Have to figure out who that is. And
if you find him, tell him to stay the hell away from my speakers.
Did he run into your speakers?
No, he was back
very close.
Toward it.
Yeah. Yeah, I did get my hands on him for a second and tossed him one time pretty good.
Yeah. Now, real quick, let's kind of run through some like actually some of the events that you mentioned there. Brandon Day, like you said, that was a really shocking event that took place. I didn't know it. He had just given a very long emotional speech to Shane Douglas in the Hall of Fame induction. I mean, obviously you don't know, but there was some backstage. I don't know if Darren, if you saw the video, it was posted. There was some backstage where he seemed very angry and agitated, almost upset. Like it almost seemed like he was a little upset with himself. Do you have any clue what's going on there, Denim?
So I don't know a lot about that, but if you're referring to the backstage video where he, I guess he assaulted Party Mike and Nick Barney, is that correct?
That's right. Yeah,
that's correct.
Yeah. So with that in mind, though, Brandon Day had been booked for Night of Champions, and after seeing that video, I'm actually going to suspend him from the show. He's not going to be allowed in the building. Basically, this happened to Congo Kong, where he wasn't allowed in Morrow because he touched a referee in Cleves. So that's going to be a thing. Like, you're not allowed to assault any of the officials on the Battle on the Border roster, or you can expect a suspension, and that would hold true to Brandon Day. I mean, I think he's a fantastic wrestler. He's going to be back, but and Nick Barney wasn't truly hurt. I mean, he was just pushed there, so it wasn't. But it was enough. I mean, it was enough. I'm not going to allow that, and I do think when Brandon is back, we're going to definitely dig into that, and I'll give him an opportunity to explain himself. And obviously Shane Douglas is going to be wanting answers, so we have to stay tuned on that one.
I was going to say, because I can only imagine how upset Shane Douglas must be. I mean, it kind of ruined his whole night.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, yeah. When you consider that it's on the night of his Hall of Fame induction, and it's his protege, it's a guy he took under his wing for probably a year and a half, and had a lot of success. I mean, they were very close to getting a title match. I don't know if losing to the Bad Dudes recently I believe that was in Indiana.
Yeah,
was something that would affect this. Maybe Brandon Day saw that title aspiration going away there, or I don't know. You would think maybe he wouldn't have gave that speech he gave, though, if that was the case. So it's really kind of an iffy situation, hard to figure out. And Day had told me for a couple of years that he looked up and kind of the stuff he said in that speech, that was a personal idol of his and those type of things. So I don't know.
Wonder if he has any type of outside influence.
Yeah, I mean, it's absolutely a possibility. Could be some money. There could be some other kind of motivation. He could have his goal on something else on the Battle on the Border roster other than the tag team titles that he seemed to have in his crosshairs there for a while. So that's, yeah, as I said, he's going to be suspended after seeing what he did from the next event. But then I'd say Brandon Day be back after that, and then we're going to figure out, why, basically.
Yeah, that's the question. I mean, I think it's the right move. Just, you got to lay the law down.
Yep. Especially when it comes to officials.
I was going to say, even if you
staff, really.
Right, I was going to say, even if
too much chaos sometimes. And Battle on the Border is all about chaos. Heck, I have a show called Christmas Chaos. So I really like the violence, the chaos, all that. But they have to remember that I'm in charge, and they have some rules. There's not a lot of rules, but one of the rules is you can't assault the staff, and the staff includes the referees. So staff, you guys, my security, like, you're not allowed to attack any of the people that are helping me. That puts your job in jeopardy.
Yeah, 100%. Now, I mean, moving on just from that, because, I mean, like you said, there's so many unanswered questions there. It's just too many unknowns. Don't want to speculate too hard on that one. We'll get our answers in due time. But you were the referee in the finals match for the hardcore title. That was a crazy match. There was a lot of weapons in the ring. There was a lot of carnage, blood everywhere. I mean, it was a thumbtacks, great match. Can you take us through your perspective of the whole match, everything that took place after, your thoughts? I mean, do you have any comments, whatever?
Yeah, so my perspective on that was when I set this tournament up, I knew it was in my brother's name and I thought that I would be good to do the finals for a couple reasons. That I could keep order pretty well compared to some referees that maybe aren't as physical. And then also, just because it's an annual event named after my brother, I thought maybe, I can do the finals each year and make this something really special. But I will say, once I got out there, man, like, I started to second guess my decision making. I definitely wasn't going to back out of it, but right. I mean, these guys are launching weapons from both sides. I'm kind of ducking out of the way in the ring.
Yeah.
At one point, I got a bunch of the thumbtacks actually stuck in me.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a crazy experience, a good experience. It was a great match. I mean, those two guys put on a really good show. I'd even give props to King Kong Pete. I mean, he came up a hair short, but that puts him at 1-1 with hooks. So again, that might be something that needs to be revisited as well. You got a couple guys 1-1 that clearly don't like each other. So yeah.
So officially, the hardcore title is Hooks.
That's right.
Yeah, he's got it at his house. He is the champion. It's no longer interim. He's the man. The belt's on the mantle at his house.
I wonder if Dirtbag Dan's going to attempt to try and steal that back from him.
I was going to say that. So, do you have any future? Do you have any future plans? Have you heard from Hooks? Maybe he has his eyes on someone, or vice versa. Someone has his eyes on Hooks. Have you heard anything about the status of who's going to challenge Hooks for the next for the hardcore title?
Yeah, so obviously right now I'm trying to keep him as focused as possible on what I need him to do, and what I need him to do is be, my number one guy standing there with me against Ledbetter and his crew. So I'm not worried about the hardcore belt at Night of Champions. We've got some other titles that will be defended that night. I don't need him to defend that there. I just need him to be focused on what he's doing with me. But beyond that, I mean, obviously, I would think something with King Kong Pete could be in the mix. Yeah. We've had a couple people contact us wanting to come into Battle on the Border and challenge for that, where I'm not in a position to announce who it would be yet, but I definitely think he could be facing some new challengers here. Obviously, he's got that long-term rivalry with Ledbetter, depending where he goes. And then you've got guys like Shane Douglas that's ECW icon, and I think he's always up for a hardcore match. But I think right now maybe his focus will be elsewhere.
You said Ledbetter. You mean everybody except for Ledbetter? Because usually he ducks any challenge he receives.
I mean, that guy has had more injuries than anybody I know, and he's also had more miraculous recoveries than anybody I know.
I know, right?
I mean,
that's what I was saying.
Yeah, less than an hour, 2 hours. It's always miraculous.
It seems like he always pushes poor Bomani onto everybody.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, and I don't know if you guys picked up on it, but it didn't seem like Bomani was all that happy.
No, he was not happy at all.
No happy at all.
Motherfucker, don't my speech.
So,
how would you like to find out last minute you're having a hardcore match with Hooks?
I would not like to find that out at all. No.
Yeah. I wouldn't even get in the ring with him.
Right. It's a very, very suspect situation there. So I like that, though. I mean, I'm going against these guys in a couple weeks, and the more they disagree, the better I like it.
Exactly. And hey, the one person that probably is going to be injured during that, so they're going to lose a man, and it'll probably end up postponed.
You think?
Yeah.
Because he's scared.
I mean, do you think something like that's going to happen? Not to jump a little too far ahead here, but do you think something like that's going to happen where Ledbetter's going to try to maybe weasel his way out of this one in some way?
No, I don't, because I'm the owner of the company, and I'll go on record and say right now that if he tries to weasel his way out, then I'm still disbanding the Army of Destiny. I'll still never book him for a match or anything again.
There you go, plain and simple. Now,
we just know that Ledbetter's scared. I mean, that's honest truth. He has been terrified to wrestle anybody.
Well, you know why he's terrified? He's got multiple people standing across the ring that he has done wrong personally and just don't like him. So that's got to be uncomfortable.
See, that's why cheaters never win.
That's right. Cheaters never prosper.
Bite you in the ass.
That's true. I mean, you turn your back on so many people over time.
Eventually, nobody's going to cover you. Bomani's eventually going to turn on him if they...
Right. But eventually, like you're saying, everybody catches on. So you can only pull the wool over people's eyes so long, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's right. Eventually, it's going to screw you at the end of the day.
Yeah, absolutely. Now... And Sergeant Ledbetter did cash in his golden ticket on Hooks. What was your thoughts? What was going through your head when that took place at the last show? Because I'm sure that deep down in the back of your mind, you had to be hoping that wouldn't. I mean, you had a lot of faith in Hooks. I'm sure at that moment.
To be honest with you, I wasn't as surprised by that as you might think, just because contractually that thing was going to be expired before the next event, so he had to do it at that show. And, he's not going to fit the zero gravity. No, Brian Pillman's not there with the heavyweight. So I personally am not that surprised that it happened. And I thought he was going to wrestle his match and maybe be jacked up and cash in later or something. Like, I didn't think he would completely back out of the tournament and then do it. So he surprised me with that part. But him cashing in did not surprise me just because the expiration date was looming.
Yeah, that does make sense. Now, obviously, he was unsuccessful. Thankfully,
Clearly,
unsuccessful
obviously
for some people.
Anyways,
Now,
And that's got to be humbling when you can't beat a guy that's bloodied and already been in 2 wars.
and honestly, probably the best
Chance he could
hardcore
ever
wrestler
have.
that Battle on the Border has,
yeah,
in my opinion, really.
Yeah, and that was the most vulnerable, the best Ledbetter could catch him, and he still couldn't get the job done.
That's just how good Hooks is, or how bad Ledbetter is.
Well, it might be a combination of both. To be honest, I mean, Hooks, he's still active, but I definitely view him as a future Hall of Famer in the company. Like, he's led so much for us, and I would say he's probably the most durable guy we've ever had. Like, you would think he's done so many times, and it's like he's like a zombie or something, dude. He's not going to stop. He's going to get back up. As soon as you write him off or think he's done, he's just getting warmed up.
If I'm not mistaken, after he won that event, when I got my microphone back, it was covered in blood. He was literally dripping
dude. The
blood
locker room
everywhere.
was, the table in there, the stands were, the ring was, the gym floor. Myself and the crew probably spent an hour cleaning blood after that event. The whole place smelled like iron.
I'm gonna say it was so much blood. Like, I don't know.
I mean,
I'm surprised he didn't get hospitalized after that. Like, damn,
There was
that's
a lot.
a lot of blood.
There was a lot.
Well,
Now,
that was actually recommended to him, but shocker, he refused medical assistance.
yeah, he doesn't need
what
no
a
hospital.
surprise.
He doesn't need a hospital.
He's a heavy metal Viking, man.
That's right. And the heavy metal Vikings don't need
That was absolutely proposed to him, especially when after the match he had to lay down for a while and like clog some of the it wouldn't stop bleeding, so he continued to bleed for a long time after that was over, and they were working on it, and it was recommended to him to go, but he just wasn't having it.
Damn.
Now, yeah, and of course he's not. I mean, I don't expect him to go.
Yeah, I don't either.
Now, obviously, also after that match took place, you did announce that Hooks would be a part of your team. When was that decision made?
So I would say Ledbetter had this challenging idea a couple months ago that Hooks jumped into my head immediately. Mm-hmm. Now, I hadn't talked to him about it yet, I will say that.
So you surprised him?
I was highly suspicious that he would say yes.
I mean, to get his hands on Ledbetter.
Oh, yeah.
He's got a lot of...
He's got dodged so much.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got a lot.
Yeah, so basically from the second it was announced, I knew that I wanted him on my team.
And then also announced for your team was the returning Scotty Amos. Now, what took place there? Was that another name that jumped out at your mind right away, or was that something?
So what happened there was, to be honest with you, Scotty and I, when he was released before from the company, because he had been gone for maybe 8 or 9 months, we had some contractual disputes and things come down like that, and that's just business. So, I wasn't mad at him. I don't know how mad he was at me, but definitely a business thing. But I realized best for business and best for my chances of winning was maybe if I had to reconsider and maybe compromise and get that man back in the fold, because more than anything, I wanted to win that match, and I knew that he would help me win it. Yeah. So, and he's got the loyalty factor. He's been in that area a lot. We played softball there together before we were ever doing wrestling and stuff. So I just thought Scotty was someone that I still wanted standing by my side when I was really, really in the trenches. So it's almost like we're almost like family. I would say you might bicker and things like that, but when push comes to shove and it's the most important moment, then that's when you really have to decide like what side you're on, and that's when we made it happen.
I'm not even gonna lie. When I first seen him walk out, I initially thought, "Hey, this is the masked man finally revealed himself."
Amos, that would have been heartbreaking. I mean, yeah.
It threw me for a loop because he came out in black with a hood on. So I'm like, well, this is the masked man. He finally revealed himself, and it's Amos. But turned out
him was the masked guy.
Yeah, then he came out.
Yeah, and let's talk about that for a second too, because
for
for those that were watching or listening, an interview with Jayden Jett's coming up here after this interview with Denim, and first ever episode with 2 interviews back to back. We're gonna be trying that out, see how people like that. But we may or may have not framed him for the Masked Man. Now he was very upset that we did that. I mean, as the Masked Man would be. Do you have any thoughts? I mean, we're about 2 weeks away.
He's a prime suspect.
I mean, I would think so.
I was about to say, that's what I thought too. Like,
yeah.
So I've had several people mention him to me as a candidate. I've had several people mention Dirty Daxie as a candidate. I've had, I guess Ledbetter mentioned that he had heard it was either Paxton Calloway or Super Oprah, but I feel like we've shot down those possibilities.
Yeah, listen, we're not very good detectives, as Jayden Jett will point out here coming up soon. He pointed out we're not very good detectives, and but even we know that it's not Paxton Calloway or.
I think that makes him look guilty.
That he
to even say that, right?
Yeah, and that's another question.
When you follow that up by saying, "Well, I don't know who it is,"
right?
Sure. Well, then we know you just lied about that, so you're probably lying about not knowing who it is, and that was my main point all along. Yeah. Sarge's a good actor, man. He's got a way of pulling the wool over people's eyes, and I think it'll all be exposed here in a couple weeks. I'm very excited about that. I'm excited to never have to deal with the Army of Destiny at Battle on the Border again. Like, I've had enough of them. They've been a thorn in my side for so long, and in my mind, I don't think even envision the possibility of losing. Like, I don't have them type of thoughts going in. It's just focused on winning no matter what.
So what are you guys going to do if the Masked Man decides to conveniently not show up?
Well, that's on Sarge, I guess. At that point, then.
So it'd be on 3-on-4.
I mean, I'd have to make an executive decision on the spot, and what you just said there probably sounds as good as anything. So I'd say Sarge needs to do everything he can to get him there, unless he'd rather go shorthanded.
I just feel like his ego would be too high to push to get a dude that's $120 to show up. I mean, just being honest here, I don't know. They didn't seem very nice to him, but I don't know if that was an act.
Yeah, see, I don't know, but to play devil's advocate there, I could say that his team has all the power in the world, and what they would actually need more than anything would be some speed and agility, and maybe that's where they find it. But I can't speak for Ledbetter. I mean, I hope everything goes horribly wrong for his team, and we just completely destroy him.
Oh, 100%. Especially because, I mean, you're very active. You're pretty fast. You got Amos, active, very fast. And then you got your muscle.
Yes.
You got the crazy factor.
Yeah, you got the crazy factor and your muscle combined in one person. I mean, that's just...
Yes. Yes, and then I also have the advantage of having someone else to surprise them with at the event.
I was going to say, now, Denim, you are a Hall of Famer, and it would be a Hall of Fame-like announcement right now on this show to let us know what are you thinking. I mean, you don't have to just a hint, just a little hint.
Let me make a recommendation real quick. Paxton
Calloway. Recommendation was who?
Paxton Calloway.
I mean, I think Paxton is at the top of the list, and that's been mentioned to me by a couple people. Paxton is certainly a consideration there, and I think Paxton doesn't really like them guys too much either.
No.
But the only downside there would be, talking to his manager, Bobby Fulton, about that, because Paxton has locked in a future title shot, and then as long as I could steer his focus away from that. But, yeah. I'm not going to divulge and give you that Hall of Fame announcement, but I will give you a cool announcement.
Okay, that works.
Yeah. So just today, I just locked in our very next show after this. We're going to be, it's going to be from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. on Sunday, May 7th. We return to Harrison, Ohio, and it's going to be at River City West, which is a ballpark where I officiate, and we're going to have a huge show there in Harrison at the ballpark out on the field. They have 6 fields. We're going to be in one of the prominent ones in the middle, and it's going to be a really big deal. Lots of alcohol, lots of food there. And Harrison, Ohio is basically where we started and blew up the company. So we're going to make that show a home run.
I'm very excited for that show. It is unfortunate for me just because it's on a Sunday and because of my not wanting to be hungover at work that I can't drink. But let me tell you something.
I will gladly tell them I'm not going to work.
I'm extremely excited.
You're right. Maybe I have to work Monday too. But the thing is, if you start earlier,
That's true.
Like the show is an earlier show.
That's true. 4 to 7.
So it's done when we're normally starting. So
you know what? You
a
convinced
little
me.
bit of a margin there.
Yeah.
But that should be terrific, and it's good for me anytime I can add a new place, and particularly Harrison, Ohio, as I said, is where Battle on the Border started and got its roots. So I'm really excited about that, and it just gives us more and more of a foundation on our schedule to just keep adding new stuff and doing different type of things to keep it fresh. Different venues, different towns, different matches, different wrestlers, like everything to mix it up, keep everybody on their toes, and keep everything can't miss. So yeah, I'm very excited for that, and it just became official today. I had the meeting at 4:00. Left there before 5:00. Everybody in agreement, and it's completely on.
Have you ever thought about? You talked about new places.
Oh, here's the news pitch.
I just have an idea. Have you ever thought about going like Batesville, maybe?
Is that because it's where we're from?
No, it's a new audience.
Well, I wouldn't say that I haven't thought about it, but I haven't ruled it out either. So it would come down to who I could get involved with it. So, like, for this River City West, I'm an umpire there, so I'm pretty well known. I play in these softball leagues, and I'm from that area. It helps out a lot. Cleves, I'm from that area. Morrow, I kind of work out there.
Yeah.
We do Morse Hill, Mayhem, and Aurora. We have this guy, Scott Petty. I think you guys know him, right? Obviously.
Yeah.
He's my Indiana director, so he essentially organizes a lot of the logistics with those shows. So the upcoming stuff we've got, like Farmers Fair, Mooresville Mayhem, that he lays the foundation for a lot. Like, obviously I control the Battle on the Border aspects at the end of the day, but he just helps with like managing the stuff out there. And then I've got a couple other people in Ohio that kind of help out like that. And that lets me tie all that extra stuff into our core shows that we have at Cleves and come up with a pretty fun overall schedule. But to answer your question, no, I wouldn't be against Batesville. They just come down to what venue is available, what dates were available, how we promote it, and stuff like that. It's certainly a possibility, though.
I just figured it was maybe like a possible new fan base, especially if you know a guy that knows a guy.
Well, there you go. There you go.
Few guys that
never a Battle on the Border.
Now, I'm very excited. May 7th. What's the name of the show? I'm gonna write it down. So I'm not gonna. Do you have a name?
But it doesn't have a name yet. It's going to be in Harrison, though. But it should be probably announced this week.
All right. Well, I'll make sure to keep out.
Harrison return. It's at River City West Ballpark.
All right. I'm gonna write that down so I don't forget. All right. So coming up next show. Let's talk about next show for a minute. Let's talk about. Oh, I guess we're taking a timeout. Darren said he needs to take a timeout.
We're going to take a short break.
Why are we taking a break?
And we are back with Denim Blevins.
All right, guys.
Now,
I'm ready for whatever.
This next show, hype up this next show because we're extremely hype about it. BOTB Brigade's hyped up about it, but for those that maybe don't know, hype this show up.
Yeah, so Night of Champions is the show, March 25th in Cleves. It's at River's Edge Indoor Sports. I think that's our biggest venue. I mean, it's in my hometown in Cleves, so we usually draw well. Night of Champions is a big event. We always draw good for that. We already discussed that Team BOTB against the Army of Destiny. I mean, that match just has huge implications as far as who's going to control the company going forward and whose faction's going to dissolve.
Yeah,
But beyond that, our annual Golden Ticket Rumble, I mean, this will be the 7th one. Out of the prior 6, 3 of them have resulted in that person winning championship gold at Battle on the Border. So 3 successful cash-ins and then 3 failed ones so far.
Right.
Makes that a prestigious match every year. Does either one of you have a pick for that of the people you've seen so far?
So no. I will say this. My mom, who doesn't normally, she follows Battle on the Border on Facebook, doesn't normally comment on it. She thought Scarecrow, she told me yesterday she was predicting Scarecrow.
It's a good pick. Scarecrow got second place in the Bobby Fulton Rumble before, and he also is probably one of the more experienced in there. He's been like a 20-year veteran.
Right, and then just because of recency bias, I'm going to say Jayden Jett because we're talking to him in a couple minutes. So.
Oh, fuck.
And then that'd be very curious to see what a current champion would do with a golden ticket. Would that be a two-champion type of thing, or maybe you hold on to that in case you lose your belt so you know you can get it back? I mean, I don't know.
That's true.
Or he can Ledbetter it and waste it on nothing. I'm just saying, I mean.
It was great to see. Great to see.
You know you can't win, and then you waste it just trying to win, even though you can't.
Right.
You're just not good enough.
Well, you said it.
Hey,
That Rumble's huge. I guess you guys probably saw an announcement the other day, and our friend Carson Drake certainly thinks it's going to be him. But we're also going to have the Cincy Wrestling Championship defended that night because it is Night of Champions and a little bit of cross-promoting with an ally. So their belt is going to be on the line. The actual match isn't going to be figured out until they have their next event. As you heard, Carson Drake seems pretty confident that he's still going to be the champion.
But he sounds a little bit overworked.
Yeah, that's what he was saying.
Well, there you go. He's a workhorse type of wrestler. He's trying to stay as busy as he can, get his name out there, and be on TV. So I definitely can respect that. But I also think that can come back to bite you in the butt, and it could cost you some gold.
That's absolutely true. But he's got to get through.
Say he wasn't very happy about his nose.
Yeah, he's got to get through Matt Diesel first.
That's right.
And that's going to be a tough one. And then who knows? I mean, we'll see what happens at Cincy Wrestling first.
How many boxes of Twinkies you think I should take him?
As many as you want. As many as you want.
So I think that show is also going to be a huge night for our tag team division. We've got kind of a match with DD Trash, who you guys have seen one time.
Yeah.
Two of the best in the region, and they really do a great job of getting the crowd involved and everything. And they're challenging the Bad Dudes, which you've also seen them a lot. These guys are pretty similar statures, similar experience, and basically they probably match up about as good as you would find two teams to match up.
Looking forward to that one.
You got to say DD Trash, dude.
They were very good last time. Well,
and you have to think that we have a championship match in that division that night, and you're going to have future contenders in the division as well. So could be a big win for either one of them. But the championship's on the line there. We've got Iron Man Rob Conway, who's a Battle on the Border Hall of Famer. He was our first ever heavyweight champion, along with Justin Xavier. And then they've got fantastic Bobby Fulton in their corner, going against Spectre Enterprises, which consists of David Barnabas Spectre's two monsters, Madman Fulton and Congo Kong. Yeah. So, I mean, you've got, out of the four wrestlers in there, three guys who have extensively been on TV and one who's destined for it in the future.
Absolutely.
And then, you're not going to find two better managers either than Bobby Fulton and David Barnabas Spectre. So that's a high-stakes tag team match. What do you guys think for that one?
Well, let's revert back real quick, because I didn't even think about this.
Okay.
What did you think about Bobby Fulton finally getting a stab on Barnabas Spectre?
I wish it would happen more often. You disrespect a 62-year-old Hall of Famer, then I think you deserve what you get.
I was about to say, he couldn't run from that one. He got a punch on him.
I hope to see it again. Anytime Bobby Fulton, first of all, I'd want to stay on his good side because Bobby's got a temper, and even at his old age, Bobby Fulton still has some fight in him. So I could see him throwing hands at David Barnabas Spectre anytime they're in the same building.
Yeah, that's right. And as far as predictions, I think I speak for both of us when we say that we're Justin Xavier, Rob Conway all the way.
Yeah, 100%.
Also, we've only been rooting for this match since I think the first time we interviewed you, Denim. Are we ever going to get Bobby Fulton versus David Barnabas Spectre one-on-one? I mean,
we need that.
This is the match that everyone wants to see. And by everyone, I mean me and Darren.
Well, you guys probably aren't the only ones. That certainly, if Bobby Fulton came to me and demanded it, so if things went to that extreme where Bobby approached me about it, I mean, he is a Hall of Famer, and right. I listened to him and been advised by him on different things in the past, and I will say this, I certainly would sit down with Bobby and have the conversation with him.
Okay,
Or remember Morrow Hill Mayhem last year?
Yeah.
The Congo Kong versus Pax Calloway.
Yeah.
That's been on
It's been on hold
for
for a minute. It's been on hold for a minute. There's a lot of
It's been waiting
There's
for
been
a minute.
there's a lot of unpacked problems that still need to get solved. There's problems that need to be solved between Spectre and Fulton.
I mean, it's clear. Like, Spectre Enterprises can't handle anybody that
Listen, man, you
does Fulton. You know,
you want to keep disrespecting
I mean,
someone
it's-
like who's
it's-
associated with Congo Kong.
It's
You
clear.
go ahead.
Congo ran for Baxter Calloway last year, and more so man.
Yeah.
He did choose to fight another day, didn't he?
He did.
Yes. So
Smart.
I mean, like, if you're going to dodge a guy, I mean, you eventually have to square up
Well,
and face it.
Can you imagine what kind of an intimidating guy you have to be that Congo Kong looks at you and reconsiders?
Yeah. Well, Paxton Calloway's big.
Baxter Calloway is a big dude and a fantastic wrestler.
Yeah.
Maybe Congo thinks he just doesn't have it.
Right. And I will say this. I mean, going back to the tag team match just for a second, Justin Xavier now is under the tutelage of not only his tag team partner, Rob Conway, but Bobby Fulton, too. I mean, Justin Xavier's already very skilled.
Yes.
His skill level is going to go up 10 times now because he has two people to work with.
Exactly.
Hall of Famers.
Yeah, two Hall of Famers.
Fantastic.
So, I mean, I got to say it seems like all the momentum is really riding high. And, I mean, man, Fulton's coming off of a loss just recently. I think all the momentum is riding right in Justin Xavier and Rob Conway's favor.
Man's absorbed with the Army of Destiny.
What?
Huh?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I guarantee they're working behind the scenes.
Why would they do that? Now you're just spreading conspiracy theories. Let's move on before Darren gets us in
I don't know
trouble.
anything about that, but you never know with a guy like
You
Ledbetter,
don't
right?
know Ledbetter.
Darren's just spreading conspiracy
It wouldn't be
theories.
the strangest thing I ever heard if you told me
You do
that
not know Ledbetter.
Ledbetter and Spectre work together to some degree. I wouldn't be that surprised.
Guarantee there's some cahoots.
Okay, well, okay.
But we'll see. We'll figure it out.
I don't know where that came from, but okay.
It's wrestling conspiracy theorists.
We're going to start a new podcast, Wrestling Conspiracy Theories, with Darren only.
That's interesting. Yeah, but so we got the women's division too. We've got Judy Ray against Freya the Slayer, so I think that's going to be really good. You guys have seen Judy Ray. I don't know. Haven't seen Freya yet.
No, we have not.
Not yet.
So Freya's one of the best. She's from Alaska. She's referred to as the Queen of the North, so she's only been in this area recently.
Mm-hmm.
She's just as tall as me. She's about 6'1". She really throws these girls around for the most part, and the only other time she was at Battle on the Border, she was completely dominant. So it definitely is a big hill to climb for Judy Ray there. She's probably a significant underdog in that one.
That's what I was going to say. I was going to say Judy Ray's got her work cut out for
I
her.
feel like she could keep up with it, though.
You don't even know Freya. Why are you just taking sides right away?
Because I've seen Judy Ray.
She's
wrestle.
she's very skilled.
She's very talented.
She's very skilled, but
damn.
just off of the description alone, I'm nervous around. I don't want to be in the ring with Freya the Slayer.
You never know.
I don't know.
Yeah, well, Freya the Slayer also has AEW experience and stuff like that.
I'm just saying that the work is cut out for Judy Ray. That's all I'm saying.
Well, yeah, but she's not.
Well, Judy has the crowd behind her, so that's good. But
That is true.
that doesn't always take you all the way.
No, that is very true. Very true. We'll see.
I've seen her. I've seen her wrestle,
Yeah.
and she's.
I'll
very
personally be
talented.
rooting for her because Judy's a friend of mine. She joined Battle on the Border just 19 years old. She has an awesome work ethic. She proved herself from day one. So she's one of the people that I can't help but root for. But she's got a daunting task on that evening. It's in the women's division. It's probably comparable to taking on a Paxton or a Kong or something in a singles match.
Yeah.
As long as she stays quick, stays on her heels,
Yes.
she do just fine.
Yeah. Well,
And
we'll
she's got
see.
to be. I'm sure she's smart enough to realize that.
Yeah,
Yes,
absolutely.
I mean, when you go against bigger people, it's not about strength or size. It's about the speed that you got. I mean, speed can beat everything.
Darren's wisdom of the
Speed, technique, strategy.
Yeah, exactly.
That's right. Yeah.
So, I mean, nothing's impossible. I mean, it's
No,
possible.
no, never count on anybody. But yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
I feel like she's going to do just fine.
All right. Well, there you go. There's Darren's prediction.
I feel like she's going to do just fine.
And then the other match that I hadn't gone over yet, you guys are obviously familiar with because I know you recently had him on the podcast. That's Jayden Jett defending the Zero Gravity against Avery Hurts.
Yeah.
Avery's been wanting that one-on-one for a while. It seems to me like Jett is the champion, but some of these events, it seems like he's escaped with the belt more than dominated, and Hurts wants that opportunity one-on-one to see if he's a true champion or if he's been a bit lucky.
Well, I mean, considering he literally hid beside the ring.
At the last event, there was a little bit more strategy involved than there was physicality.
Yes, and that's almost like a Sergeant Ledbetter type of move in my eyes. Like he's, yes, I will give him props for the brains, but I question if it's sustainable. Like, can you keep doing that?
That is the real question. And it's what we were saying to him, which again, for those listening or watching, stay tuned for that interview. But what we were saying to him was basically this is a kind of a grudge match in a way, because every time him and Avery Hurts have been involved with each other as far as in the ring, it's always been other people involved. This time, Avery finally gets his hands on Jayden Jett one-on-one. So I'm very excited for this.
Find out who the true champ is, Avery Hurts. Find out who the true champ is, Avery Hurts. True champ.
That's part of...
Not a stab at Jayden Jett or anything, but, I mean, come on, man. We know the real talent.
Well, we'll see. It's got me very interested. Jayden Jett's talented too. You have to admit he's talented when he tries, but he's just strategic. His
head's too big.
He did say he
is a statistical little guy, ain't he?
You said it, not me.
His head is too big.
Yeah, built like a truck. His head's built like a truck.
Yeah, his head's built like a truck. And he's about to get max smacked.
There you go.
I'll be there to see it. And one thing there is, that's Jayden Jett's hometown, so he's either going to look great or look horrible. He'll either be the hero or the GOAT in front of his home people.
No pressure, Jayden.
There's that extra weight there, so I know you guys know, but some people don't. There's 3 people that are from Cleves that are, going to be there, and that's myself, Justin Xavier, and Jayden Jett. All 3 of us were raised in this community. We played softball together and all that, so... extra pressure on all of us, and especially, Jayden Jett's got that belt on the line.
Now, Denim, you got to keep your head on a swivel.
I need to up my security, too, or something, and just have, because people will be coming at me from behind every time, man.
I was going to say, you just never know what Ledbetter's going to pull out his ass in the middle of the match. I mean,
there's been... kendo sticks thrown in. There's been
brass knuckles suggestion box.
Hidden in suggestion box. He's a slippery snake, that guy. And let me tell you.
Yeah. Well, they say in life, when you do great things, you become a great target. So, since I've started Battle on the Border and had some success and things like that, I've had, random different people jealous or envious, blindside me, attack me like that. But I always get up, and I'm never going to live my life fearing any kind of coward.
Absolutely. 100%. Now, I will ask this just in case it happens, since this will probably be the last time that we talk to you before your battle. So I want to just get this out of you real quick. And I know you're not even thinking about it, you said it earlier, but if it does happen where you lose this upcoming match, I know you haven't thought about it, but how are you going to be able to process that? I
don't think I can show my face in the wrestling business again.
Yeah.
And I quit.
Well, I don't. I gotta try. We gotta make it try to work. We gotta make it try.
I'm not working that better. I quit if Denim loses.
Yeah, that's obviously I'm keeping my focus away from that. But if that happened, that would be a sign to me that maybe things weren't destined to be how I thought they were. But the way I look at it, man, I'm here for a reason. I'm going to win that trilogy, and things are going to be great, man. I'm a glass half full kind of person. But any time in life, there's always a chance of anything happening. So to say anything's 100%, you can never say that. That's only something a fool would say. But I would say this, that I like my chances very much.
Yeah, I was going to say, I would say that I'm definitely rooting. There's no doubt Sergeant Ledbetter has some problems with us.
Yeah,
he's called us Dumb and Dumber.
Yes.
Which I was not a fan of. He hid brass knuckles.
This interview, for
I was going to say, I was going to say, he said earlier today, because you announced, Denim, that you would be on the show, and he said it was one to skip. He's made rude comments to your mom. I mean, it's just overall, it's just, I'm sick of the Army of Destiny. And I think if this were to take place, if Army of Destiny loses, when they lose.
I'm going to say there's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
When they lose. This is going to knock him down a peg. This is going to, that inflated ego is going to get popped, and now what happens?
Or you can't
I say we all start with that song. What is it? Na na na, hey hey, goodbye when he's walking out.
Yeah. That's right. That's what. So everyone who's going to the show, just remember that when they make their entrance, we want to hear that. We want to hear that na 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 na.
Well, I was going to say when they make their exit after I eliminate them, but either way.
I was about
entrance,
to say,
exit.
Would you want me to play that when they lose?
Well. Let's talk about that. Yeah, that might be a possibility.
I mean, I can play instead of your.
I do know the sound guy, don't I?
When being a win, like hey, goodbye. Really fuck with them as they're leaving the ring.
I can already tell you, Sarge is going to be crying about that when he hears it.
Of course he is.
Oh, I'm already expecting the backlash. It's already expected.
Yeah, comes with the territory.
It does. Oh well, is there any other matches that we can look forward to yet that you've announced or that you're going to announce? Maybe your partner.
Yeah, so that's the rundown for where we're at with this. We got multiple belts. We got the golden ticket. We got the big match with myself involved in Ledbetter, and that's where it's at right now, man. Should be one of our better draws of the year.
I've got to say though, Denim, I am super excited to see this match between you and Ledbetter go down.
Yeah.
Super excited.
You know what's...
If you're super excited, you're almost as excited as me.
Yes.
What's funny is that this is almost going to, the first show that me and you went to before we ever even started working with Battle on the Border. We saw Denim and Sergeant Ledbetter face each other.
Yep.
And this is going to be like the finale. This is like a chapter of our lives.
So we've seen the beginning
from almost the beginning to the end.
Yes.
Very exciting times. I just now realized that as we were sitting here. What an exciting time.
Like it's this honestly.
Yeah, everything coming full circle.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you're lucky. Hey, Hooks. I mean this no disrespect.
Yeah, you know he's a big fan.
I'm happy you have a psychopath on your team.
No, he takes that as a compliment. Yeah, he's taking that as a compliment.
Like you have a psychopath on your team. This motherfucker's going to do anything.
That's right.
So,
one thing Hooks told me a long time ago, this was many years ago, he's like, Denim, I might not always agree with you, but he's like, I'm never going to tell you no.
Hell yeah. That's the kind of people you want around you, man.
Yes. So I think that he'll die on his shield out there for Battle on the Border. Can you imagine how brutalized he would have to be to not get up and continue to hold the honor of the entire company on his back? Like, I think that man would have to be, incapacitated or something.
Yeah.
Just think of how fast Ledbetter's going to run when he sees Hooks just standing there. Or entrance.
Yeah, it's going to be, I'm telling you.
He's going to shit himself.
It's going to be very exciting.
Everybody.
It's going to be very exciting, and I'm looking forward to it very much.
Ledbetter's never faced a
He never faced a team like this.
No, that's right. Never faced a team like this.
A team like that, yeah.
Your thoughts aren't so great. Darren, speak no good.
No. I mean, Ledbetter's never faced fucking Hooks one-on-one, without prior matches that I've seen.
Yeah, recently.
Yeah, recently.
Yeah. So it's.
He dodged him. Now he's on Denim's team.
Yep.
There'll be no dodging him.
No dodging allowed. I'm very excited. I'm looking forward to the whole show. I'm excited for your match. I'm excited for everything. If there's anything,
it's gonna be a hell of a show, guys. Make sure you're fucking there. That's all I gotta say.
That's all we gotta say. That's all I gotta say.
It's gonna be a hell of a show.
I was gonna say, Denim, if there's anything else, I know you're a busy person. Don't want to hold you up any longer. If there's anything else you need to promote, or if you want to promote anything at all, just this is your moment.
Okay, yeah. So I'm in the same boat where I really do need to get off here and do something else. But I did want to ask you guys a quick question.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay, so because I know you did the podcast with myself and Jayden Jett today.
Mhm.
I was talking to one of my buddies on the phone earlier today, and he's like, well, can I get on the Double D podcast next? So I was wondering if you guys next week would be interested in interviewing a Battle on the Border Hall of Famer.
Of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, maybe one that's defending their belt at Night of Champions?
Of course.
Absolutely.
All right, well, if that's the case, then you guys, next week, I need you to talk to my good friend, the Iron Man Rob Conway, and see what his thoughts are about everything coming up. And I think that'll be another good one for everybody.
Oh, yeah, that'd be a fantastic interview.
Absolutely looking forward to it. I'm also very nervous.
Yeah. We're going to make it work.
Got to be on your A game with Rob.
Yeah, we can't
Yes.
fuck around. We cannot fuck
No.
around. We got to be on our A game.
There's no fuck around and find out. There's
Now-
find out.
I was gonna say it's cool. It's cool that he asked. It's cool that he asked.
Yeah.
To be
Yep.
on.
So once I'm off here, I'll give you guys his availability and all that since you're up for it,
Absolutely.
and we'll go from there, and we'll keep cranking out the material.
All right, man.
Oh, sure.
Sounds great. We appreciate you coming on, and again, like I said, good luck in a couple weeks. You don't need luck, but you know what I mean. Break a leg out. Don't break a leg.
I
You know
appreciate the support, and I'm going to do this for you guys and everybody else in the Battle on the Border Brigade, and we're bringing home a win.
Hey,
Absolutely.
You know we're cheering for you.
Yeah.
There's some
I appreciate it.
douchebags that commented on the post. Just
Yeah.
they're irrelevant. I mean, if they're not fans of us or you, and they're a fan of Ledbetter,
I mean,
like you scum of the earth.
Okay, so those guys are what you call a vocal minority.
that's right.
And
Absolutely.
a pissant.
Listen,
That's
bro.
another way of putting it.
I mean, man, come on. Listen, some of them might watch and listen.
Ledbetter called us dumb and dumber. Fuck them and their fans. Are you kidding me?
All right. Well, like I said, Denim, you're
Denim, do I am I in the wrong to be infuriated with their little whatever the fuck they got there going on there?
Everybody's infuriated. It's all
Exactly.
about how we all channel our energy to put an end to it.
That's right. That's right.
Exactly. So them and their piss ants can fuck off somewhere.
Okay, well, we're gonna get off here before we infuriate any more people and we're gonna have mass men attacking us.
You
if we're not-
already know that Ledbetter's.
All right. Well, thank you guys as always. I appreciate you, and I'm going to keep my record of the most appearances ever. So I'm sure I'll be back on before too long.
Oh hell yeah.
Absolutely. Next time we'll talk to you, it's because we're gonna be celebrating
The win
Army of Destiny's
with
destruction.
confetti.
That's right. That's right.
That's right. That's right.
All right. Thank you for joining us, and we'll talk to you next time.
All right. You guys have a good one.
Yep. You too. All right. So, could you please introduce yourself to the people at home?
Yes, I am the hot mother lover, hot stuff, Jayden Jett.
Well, it's a real honor to have you on. I'm sure Avery Hurts is real excited about that. I don't know if you know, but we interviewed him. He's not a huge fan of yours.
Yeah, I heard he had a lot to say about me.
Right. So before we get to that, though, we're going to give you a fair chance. We're not going to be one-sided here. We're going to give you a fair chance. Let's just start this interview off. Pretend we didn't interview Avery Hurts. What was it that got you into professional wrestling as a fan?
All right, what got me into professional wrestling? Well, I actually didn't watch much wrestling growing up. Probably around my sophomore year, I randomly was on YouTube and watched, I think it was Survivor Series. I watched Chad Gable get German suplexed by one of the Usos, and I was like, whoa, this is crazy. I was like, and then I just started watching from there. And if some of you might know that I grew up with Justin Xavier, and he actually kind of got me into it. And then we went to training, became Retro Flight, and then from there, we went to training school, debuted, and that's kind of really how I got into wrestling.
Pretty simple. So you didn't watch it growing up as a kid or anything like that?
Not much. I knew the obvious people like John Cena, CM Punk. I remember watching Randy Orton and John Cena a lot, but I really just didn't watch it. I was kind of protected as a kid. My parents wouldn't let me watch it. It's kind of lame because if I ever have a kid, they're definitely gonna watch wrestling.
Hey, I can relate to that one. My mom never let me watch wrestling either as a kid.
Yeah, I was very protected. I don't understand why, but now that I'm into it, I can't stop watch wrestling.
Do you have brothers?
I have a half brother. We used to wrestle all the time, like just messing around. But
Well, I was going to say, my mom always told me it's because I would practice the moves on my brothers.
yeah, that's me and my brother. That's always what we used to do. He actually did like high school like wrestling, like mat wrestling. So
Yeah, I did that too.
So, did you play any sports when you were in high school or younger than that at all, growing up?
growing up, I played a lot of baseball. Like I was very into baseball. Like thought I was gonna go places, but obviously that didn't happen. My freshman year, I was cut from the baseball team because, believe it or not, I'm too skinny.
Oh,
So yeah, so that's a shock. But
I didn't know that was a thing.
but from there, I was kind of like a band kid. I was in marching band. I was gonna go to school for music, but I decided to pursue my wrestling career.
Good decision.
What? Hold on now.
I'm just kidding.
Hey,
Hey, it's going good, so I'll take it.
what instrument did you play?
I played trumpet, and then like my junior and senior year, I was a drum major. So
There you go.
Hey, that's pretty cool.
At least you wasn't an oboe player.
Yeah, I was an oboe player. I played the oboe. Which have you ever heard of an oboe?
I did. I dated somebody who played the bassoon, which is like the bigger oboe.
Yeah, very close. Not a very cool instrument. Trumpet's a lot cooler.
I would know.
So what was that final decision? So Justin Xavier was the one who finally pushed you into getting into wrestling training.
Yeah. So he was my best friend since I've known him since like second or third grade. We played baseball together, and then randomly one day I was off work. I worked every Tuesday, and then I went to train at Tim Lutz's school. It's Sen Pro Wrestling. Got into that. It was like so random. I was off that day, and if I wasn't off that day, I probably wouldn't be here right now. But I was like, you know what, I'll go. And I went to training, and as soon as I like took my first bump and my first like step in the ring, I was like, holy crap, like I want to do this. I was like, I'm gonna do this. And I was still living at home. I was probably like, I think I was freshly 18, and like my mom was like, oh my god, you're gonna break your neck. And still to this day, everyone in my family says, you're gonna break your neck, Like,
well, yeah, it doesn't work, especially with the style of wrestling that you have. That's also, yeah, I was gonna say that can't. So does your family come out and watch you ever?
They came out to my debut, and then they came out to when I won the belt at the December 31st show. So they were my dad's a big supporter in it. My mom, she's the one who's more like the protective side. She doesn't like to understand it, so she will never go.
Right. Fair enough.
My dad's into it though. He's big into it.
What, your dad watched a lot of wrestling, I'm guessing?
He watched it when he was a kid, so like he was a big Shane Douglas fan. So seeing him when he came out to the 31st show, he was like, "Oh my God, that's Shane Douglas!" And like he was taking pictures with him and stuff. So it was cool to see him like reminisce his old childhood days.
All right, so pretty sure we asked this question everyone, but serious question: how bad does the kendo stick hurt?
I have been very fortunate to not be on the receiving end of a kendo shot yet.
Well,
Denim, you need to change that.
Wait a minute.
Say, hold on, wait a minute. Avery Hurts deserves the first shot here. No offense, Jayden. No offense.
Oh yeah. Avery Hurts needs.
So what's the big deal here? So you're all over Avery Hurts. I listen. I listened to the last podcast.
Oh, no.
You were talking a lot of smack about me.
Well, okay.
So I want to know because we're gonna flash it back, because if you didn't watch the whole match at the 31st, we're gonna roll it back. So if you don't know, which you guys have been wrong the entire time,
Of course we have.
I actually screwed Justin Xavier, my nemesis, out of the title. Not Avery Hurts, because he was not in the ring at that time.
Yeah,
So
but it was not
explain
just.
how I screwed Avery Hurts.
It was everybody. Listen, Jayden. It was a cheap. It was a little bit of a cheap way to win. Can we just?
Listen, man, you got to do what you got to do sometimes. You're my size. You got to find every inch and every nail you got to win. It's simple. You got to find any possible way to win.
That is fair. Well, so Avery Hurts chased you out of the stadium. I mean, or chased you out of the arena. I mean, he seemed very upset.
I don't even know what that was about.
I was going to say, although you did get a quick pin on Justin, it seemed like Avery was the one that was the most upset about the situation. I'm not saying Justin was probably just still confused, but Avery seemed very upset. I don't think he was expecting to win. He knew it was going to be a battle, but it seemed like he was the most upset about that, and that's, I think, why maybe we created the narrative. I don't know. Did we create the narrative?
No. Avery Hurts was annihilating, and then just randomly disappeared. And then here comes sliding Jayden Jett taking the win from him. Well, how does that happen?
Either way.
I did what I had to do. I won. But I want to know why I had to run 3 miles down the road. Luckily, some sugar mama picked me up, and, I spent my New Year's Eve the right way. How real winners win. How real winners spend their New Year's Eve.
Okay, so let's talk about that for a second. So you're into moms, huh?
Oh, 100%, 110%. Is it obvious enough?
Well, no, you make it very obvious. When did that start?
Who doesn't love a hot mom? Honestly.
No, it's very true. It's very true.
Who doesn't love a MILF? Let's be honest.
No, it's very true. It's very true. It's very true. It's just you're very passionate about it.
I am very passionate about hot moms.
Which are you more passionate about? Are you more passionate about wrestling or hot moms? If you had to give up one,
come on, you're gonna put me there.
Yeah, we asked the hard-hitting questions here on the Double D podcast.
If I had to put one or the other, wrestling's pretty important to me. So I'd have to say wrestling. I'd have to keep hot moms. It's not that hard. It's not that hard. They see a young bull like me, great-looking body, great-looking face. The beard, the mullet.
Yeah, I do respect the mullet.
You can't go wrong.
I do respect. What made you grow the hair out, the mullet out?
What mom doesn't love a mullet? Let's be honest.
I've been saying.
It gives them flashbacks to the 80s and 90s when they were living it up.
Right.
Bring me on in. Here I come. Little flashback from the past. Oh, wait. It's just Jayden Jett.
Right. So, all right, let's take it back a second. We got a little bit ahead of ourselves there. So, can you take us back to that first, when you first experienced bumps in the ring? I mean, was it really hard to get used to that, or did you get used to it pretty quick? I mean, take us through the training. I mean, I've never been through training, but I've everyone we interview, it always seems a little bit different of how fast they're able to assimilate to that. What was the experience like for you?
Yeah, I can go through that. So me, Justin, Xavier, and actually Party Mike, we've all known each other for a while, but we always messed around on a trampoline and stuff, wrestling, and it was just we would watch stuff on TV, and then we would watch old seminars and stuff, and then when we got to the ring and actually got to perform and train and stuff, it was okay, this is how you do it. And taking my first bump honestly wasn't that bad. Now as time went on, I'm taking more and more bumps. It starts taking wear and tear on your body. But I'm 21 and my back's already feeling it and stuff. But I mean, it's all worth it in the end. Just that experience of performing and going out there and doing what you love is I can't explain it.
Right. You said you're 21.
Yeah, I just turned 21 in May, so I'm going on 22.
Like you're 30. What the hell?
No.
I don't know if that's a compliment or not.
I thought he was older than 21. Holy shit.
Yeah, I'm turning 22 in May, so.
See, that's awesome. So
you youngins make me feel old.
You're only 24. You act like you're 40 or something.
That's enough.
It is weird to think that I'm 20. I just turned 23 2 weeks ago, last week. So, and maybe we are getting old. So
maybe we're not cool enough.
I feel old. I'll tell you what.
Well, you deserve to feel old with the. So, what made you wrestle in the style that you wrestle in? Because the zero gravity division in Battle on the Border is very high fly oriented. Is that something you've always, like as soon as you got into wrestling, you were interested in, and did you just develop that over time?
Well, let's see. Do I look like a heavyweight?
No.
No. So you have to adapt. So I've always loved like high flying stuff, like watching that. Like I was a big fan of that.
Yeah.
So I was already like accustomed, like, okay, this is something I want to do and this is something I want to train for. So I was definitely 100% going in to do like the high flying style.
Now, I'm not sure why we didn't ask this question to Justin, because we did interview Justin in one of our first interviews. So I'm not sure why we didn't ask him this, but do you ever get nervous when you do high fly moves? I mean, do you have like a specific time that you remember that you did a move that you were really nervous about? Or one that you're super proud of?
Let me think. There's nothing really that stands out. I mean, I remember my debut. I did a like standing shooting, or no, that was Justin. My debut, I did a standing moonsault, and I remember just like watching it back and how high I got because like all that adrenaline's going through. Like I was up there, and like that like really stood out to me. And then like I've been working on more high flying stuff, so I definitely am gonna be nervous, like starting to do more, but also like it's just like thinking about it, then more doing it. When I get to do it, I'm not nervous. Like just thinking about, okay, that's how I'm gonna do it, and then once I do it, it's like, oh, that was easy.
So what's the craziest move you've ever done?
Nothing stands out.
What's the Honestly, I haven't gone that crazy yet.
You know why? Is because high risk, high reward, but also means that
high reward is 100%.
Right, and then if you don't hit it, man, and that's why you think he's zero gravity champion. He's just smart, calculated about his moves.
Ass.
Oh, see, he gets it, but he gets it.
I'm sorry.
Honestly, the one I remember is I remember going for a swanton, and then I remember missing.
Oh.
The guy pulled out of the way. I just remember, oh my god, I just missed, and then I just remember like the air kind of just going out of my body. Like, wow, all right, yeah, this sucks.
I could imagine that would hurt pretty damn bad.
It sucks.
Now, take us back, if you will, to your debut. What was the emotions going through? What was the result? Just take us back to that day.
So my story is pretty cool. So, I mean, I was obviously part of a tag team with Justin Xavier called Retro Flight. I mean, we worked, I don't know if you guys love custom, but we literally worked our ass off to like get to debut and train just like every day. Like we would be either in the gym or in the ring training. And then COVID hit actually. But right before we were going to debut in March, like 2020, and then COVID hit, so that shut down everything. Actually, I forgot about this. I got to do the Golden Ticket Battle Royal for Down the Border right before COVID hit. I actually wore a mask, which was kind of crazy. So I guess that was kind of like my debut. But going to, like, flash forward another year before or ahead of that, when we actually got the debut, like, it was just like when we went out and the crowd was there and we started doing our entrance, it's like, wow, this is what our hard work paid off. Like, this is our hard work, like, all of that just led up to that moment. And it was just like a big, like, relief off of my shoulders. Like, wow, there we go. We finally got to do it.
Right. So what happened with you and Justin Xavier? Because you mentioned you were a tag team with them, and now obviously you aren't. What happened there?
And then was friends.
Yeah, was friends. What happened there?
We're friends. I do not like him anymore. So it all started, we started disagreeing a lot. And then, I don't know if you remember, but Amos had the golden ticket, and he cashed in with Justin Xavier. So he won the tag titles with Amos, which obviously that's going to cause tension between me and him because that was going to be our thing. But instead he did it with Amos. So I snapped because why the hell would I stay with him? Got rid of him, kicked him to the curb, and now look at me. I'm a champion. I am the zero gravity champion. So I think things didn't turn out too bad.
Right. No. I mean, he is tag team champion right now in Battle on the Border with Rob Conway. So the both of you guys went on your. So he's had his success. You've had your success, and you guys have met. You've hashed out, and obviously you did get one over on him, as you said earlier when you won the title. Now at the last show I'm drawing a blank. Where was the last show at? Morrow, Ohio. Man, I'm sorry. I suck at my memories. I have a memory of an 80-year-old. At that last show, you were in a fatal five-way. What was that match like for you?
I don't know what that was about. My first title defense, I'm already about to get screwed out of my title because who decides, hey, let's put this kid in a 5-man on his first title defense? But I guess that proves how good of a champion I am when I walked out victorious.
Now, I'm not saying you didn't participate in the match.
Here we go. You guys are trying to screw me already. You guys are trying to underrate me.
No, we're not trying to underrate you. What we're saying is that you were smart. There were people in the match who were doing some crazy moves, and you were just a little smarter. Is all we're saying. Maybe.
Are you saying I'm not a working champion?
No, I never said that. No, I never said that. You said that. Okay, well, you do have an upcoming match against Avery Hurts at River's Edge here in a couple weeks.
Are you nervous? You should be.
Me? Nervous? God, that's funny. Against him? No. Whatsoever, I am not. I am in his head. I live in his head rent free.
Now, well, did you listen to the interview with Avery Hurts by chance that we had?
Did I? I heard him say a couple things, talking smack about me, how I'm not a worthy champion and whatnot. Yeah. What did he have to say? I want to hear from you.
Well, yeah, he felt like he was screwed out of the zero gravity title.
And I second him on it, kind of.
Yeah, it's Darren.
That sounds like.
Huh?
You know what? It sounds like an excuse to me.
Right. I mean,
you get it?
Well, wait.
Why'd you run, though? That's a real question. Why'd you run from Avery if you're a little bit scared?
Somebody running after you. I'm not going to run. You kidding me?
I mean, that's a good point. You have somebody running after you. I mean,
I don't know what's going on. I just ran for my life.
No, he wasn't going to kill you.
Listen, I know Avery listens to the podcast. I'm not taking sides. This is the first time that we've really been caught in the middle of a rivalry here.
Yes.
And I don't know how to feel because I'm trying to stay one side. I'm trying to do my due diligence here. I'm not trying to pick sides here. But all I'm saying is that I'm very excited for this next match coming up in a couple weeks because then I think it will be settled. This will be the third time, technically, not one-on-one, but third time that you guys have been in the ring with each other. So this is kind of the settling score. Even though you are technically right now 2-0 over him, this will be the final one-on-one. He finally gets your hands on you. Do you have any, and I'm not expecting an answer really here, but do you have a game plan coming into this match?
Let's see. Do I have a game plan? Why would I give you the game plan just for Avery Hurts to listen, learn, adjust, and then he could just be victorious on me?
All right, so maybe he is smart.
He's smart.
Let's be smart. He is smart. Come on. You're not the zero gravity champion. I am. I'm smart.
There you go. Put that on a t-shirt. Sell that. I'm smart, Jayden Jett. Quote. So also one of the things that was announced, it was actually announced the day that we're filming this, is that you are entering into the Golden Ticket Battle Royal also.
See, not only am I requested to be in this match. You know why? Okay. You want to take a gander why?
I don't know why.
Okay, so Who holds the tag team championships right now? Let's think. Who?
Justin Xavier. Yeah.
Thank you. You put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah.
See, I can do that. Find me a tag partner. I already had 2 of them go off and do better things, but actually one of them, Jake Shepard, he was a good partner. Justin Xavier, on the other hand, we kicked him to the curb. So I could find me a tag partner, or I could show Battle on the Border what a true heavyweight looks like.
Hold up.
So
hold on a second.
So you're leaving.
Heavyweight.
You heard that right. You heard that right.
Okay.
You're leaving your options open, is what I'm hearing, which is smart.
Oh shit.
So, are you saying that you're leaving the option of possibly cashing in your golden ticket on whoever the heavyweight champion may be, which, as the last I heard, was Brian Pillman, or
Brian Pillman.
the last time I also heard the number 1 contender was Paxton Calloway. So those are 2 of your options. I mean, do you feel confident with that you could take on either of those 2 if that opportunity were to arise?
A better question is, are you asking me if I'm scared?
Yes.
Am I scared? No.
No, you're not scared.
Do I have the capability of showing the world that I'm a true heavyweight? 100% yes.
Now, earlier...
Hold up a second.
I'm built like a truck.
You're on the zero gravity, dude.
I was going to say, wait a minute, earlier... This happened.
What are you talking about?
Hold on a second.
This happened with Carson Drake. Hold on for a second.
We gotta get some weight differential here.
No, hold on. This happened with Carson Drake earlier, where when we had Carson Drake on, he said that he would never target a body part because it's cheap wrestling, and then later on said, "Why wouldn't I target a body part that's hurt?" Now Jayden Jett's doing the same thing. Earlier he said, "Well, look at me. I'm not."
Mind games.
It's a damn psychology game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So he's just now
zero gravity, like 400 pounds. What? You $150 max? Maybe $180.
Why is that so funny? Why is that so funny, man?
I'm just saying it's a little bit of a size.
Why are you laughing?
Like Paxton Calloway versus. He could just lay on you.
Yeah, say it. Say it with your chest. Say it. Say it.
He could just lay on you and you'd probably be dead. He's a big dude.
But yeah, Jayden Jett's quicker though.
He does have speed. I'll give him that. 100%.
Right, you're quicker. That's the thing. So I understand where you're coming from.
You're a little smart. You kind of made up for yourself.
I'm thoroughly confused.
Now, there was one title that you didn't necessarily mention, and that would be the hardcore title. Is that not something you're interested in?
Does it look like I want to mess up this pretty face?
That's fair. Hot moms may not be as interested if you have scars all over.
Now, I'm surprised you didn't try to diss me and say I should gun for the women's title.
I mean, you could.
No. Now,
if you want to.
Listen, the current Battle on the Border women's champion, Malia Hisaka, I'm no offense to you, Jayden, but I don't think that you're ready to take on someone like Malia Hisaka. I'm just throwing it out there.
That was bigger diss than me.
Well, she's a world-class wrestler is all I'm saying. She's a legend.
Oh, see how it is. I see how it is.
Okay, well,
I kind of liked you at first.
Damn it. See, this is why...
I was just going based on science. You're going all the way.
The deeper we get into this, the more and more people we interview, the more and more friends we're going to make, the more and more enemies we're going to make. This is just a problem.
That's all right. That's why we're a WD podcast.
Yeah, well... All right, well, I know you're a busy man. You probably have some moms to get tending to, so we're not going to hold you.
Finally.
We're not going to.
I can finally do my business with a couple moms.
Right, we're not going to hold you for much longer.
I appreciate it.
The only thing that I have, one more question I actually have 2 more questions. Sorry, I just remembered one.
Two more.
First question is, if Avery Hurts is listening, what do you have to say to him directly?
All right. Avery Hurts. Listen, I know I'm in your head rent-free. I know you can't stop thinking about me. And I'll tell you why. Listen, if you were me, if you looked this good, if you had this title, you would do everything in the world to defend it. Now, what makes you think that this show you're walking out the zero gravity champion. I'm going into this match doing everything I can. Now, am I saying I'm going to cheat? No. Why would I ever cheat? That is, no. I don't ever do that.
No.
But he better have a game plan, because I'm coming with a game plan.
Okay. Well, there you go. Laid it out on the table, and I appreciate that. Hopefully he listens.
Well, he will.
And
I'm in his head rent free.
well, that's. I mean, I'm not. You're definitely in his head. There's no doubt about it. He feels cheated. He feels screwed. And like I said, finally, we're going to be seeing. I guess you could even consider it a grudge match. I mean, you guys have been at each other's throats for the last couple of months at this point. So the last question I have is that last year we went to a show in Moores Hill, and there was a mysterious person from Mexico, Indiana, who we had never seen since. His name was El Fago Loco. Have you heard from El Fago Loco?
Who?
El Fago Loco. Have you heard of him?
Oh, is that even English?
No, it's actually.
What the hell is even that?
Yeah.
El Fago Loco.
Yeah. He was last year. He was in a match once.
What does that even stand for?
Something.
Loco. What does that even stand for? Where is he out of? Let me look him up. I'm sure he pop up on Wikipedia.
Mexico, Indiana is where he was from.
Are you kidding me?
Well, yeah, that's why we're No, it's not a real place. We looked it up. That's not a real place. So someone was.
What the hell is even Mexico, Indiana?
I know. That's what we're saying. That's why we're trying to get to the
What
bottom.
are you getting at here? What are you getting at here? You see another skinny guy, and you automatically assume it's me. You know what? I ought to take offense to that.
Okay.
You think any skinny guy in a mask is automatically me?
Well, speaking of skinny guys in masks, there's been one running around in a black mask attacking Denim at every opportunity. Do you know anything about that, Jayden?
Do you?
Oh, do you? What is that supposed to mean? You guys are quick to assume that everything in a mask and a guy that's skinny is me.
Well,
it kind of fits the bill.
We're getting close. We're getting close.
I'm built like a truck. That guy's built like a toothpick.
I mean...
all right.
Say it. I know what you're about to say. Go ahead and say it.
We're going to catch you, toothpick.
You know, I ought to join the hunt on this guy, because everybody's been blowing me up. Man, that guy's you. That guy's you. Hell no, it ain't me. I got better things to do.
Right. We understand that. And
if I want to lay my hands on Denim, don't you think I would come out and do it like a real man?
Ooh.
But I mean, if you had Army of Destiny,
think about it. Why do I have any reason to lay my hands on Denim?
Well, I don't know why you would, but here's what I do know is that the Army of Destiny did congratulate you on your zero gravity title win.
Which is a little suspicious.
Which does seem a little suspicious.
Ain't it? Ledbetter and I, if you don't know, we got a little connection. But I have no reason to lay my hands on Denim Blevins.
Okay.
I've gotten everything I've needed. The Zero Gravity Championship. I've got the moms.
Yep.
What else more do I need? Well, other than this go and take a battle royal, I need to win that. But other than that, what else do I need?
That's a good point. We're just trying to do. We've been on the hunt since it took place last year when the Masked Man got involved. We've been on the hunt. We had no leads, and this was our first opportunity where we felt like we may have narrowed it down a little. And that is not why we chose to interview you. Not at all.
Who else are you thinking? Let me ask you. Let me be the interviewer for a second. Who do you think it is?
Well, personally, yeah.
Me!
Listen, we've done our investigative research over the past couple of months, and it just seems like all roads lead to Jayden.
Very convenient.
Very convenient.
Yes.
You said earlier that you wrestled in a mask. El Fago Loco, mask guy here.
If you were at that show, my name was Turbo. Now, I don't need to be in a mask.
No, I know, but I'm just saying.
Why would I hide this ugly face? Oh, wait. This pretty face.
Way to go, Jayden. I mean, this is just...
You got me all.
You sound nervous.
Calling
You
yourself
sound
ugly.
now. You sound
Now you're
nervous.
pissing me off, assuming that I'm this mascot. Why would I need to hide this luscious, beautiful, curly hair, this amazing beard, the sharpest jawline in professional wrestling? Why would I need to hide that?
Well, those are good points, and I'm not. We're not blaming you, but we're just saying that.
I think it's persuasion.
I don't know.
Persuasion.
Persuasion to be able to join Army of Destiny. So you know how college frats work, where you haze them into doing something. I feel like the Army of Destiny is hazing him to fuck with Denim, so that way he can join the Army of Destiny.
Maybe.
I was this mask guy, right?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't, if you so think I'm this mask guy, don't you think that I would just show my face to Ledbetter?
That's a good
Why
point.
would I hide it?
That is a good point.
First of all, what weapon is this guy? He's what, 110 pounds soaking wet?
Right, and you're built like a truck.
Exactly! You get it!
We're catching on. We're catching on.
160. I'll go weigh myself right now.
Okay, we'll wait.
I bet it's 125 pounds.
I ain't myself. I'm like 160.
160. I believe it. Now,
That guy's 110 soaking wet.
huh?
What?
Oh, he's 110 soaking wet. Yeah, you're right. You're right. He is. And you know what? Now that you're saying it out loud, maybe you're right. Wink, wink.
Look, I want you to look at me, take a picture of me, and then put it against this guy.
Right.
I think it'll fit pretty well. I don't know. You wear baggy clothes.
What are you smoking?
Apparently some good dope. That's good. I'm just kidding.
Well, all right. I'm sorry we ended the interview on such a note. I didn't want to get hostile.
Got me all flustered.
I didn't want to get hostile. We've been doing our research, and
You got bad investigators, I'll tell you that.
Well,
you
that's
guys
why we're not cops.
fashion.
say there's a reason we do a podcast.
There's a reason why you guys are interviewers. You
Yes.
guys run a podcast. You guys don't run the FBI.
No,
Stick to it.
Yeah,
We'd be screwed.
Yeah, if we did, there would be problems. It's just
Yeah, we would be screwed. Is right.
wink, wink. All right, well, we'll let you go. Like I said, sorry we ended the interview with such a hostile question, but I'm sure you got some. What are the moms that you're with tonight? What are their names, if you don't mind?
Hey,
me
real
asking?
quick. What's your mom's number?
Oh, here we go.
My mom's a little too mean for you.
I'll find it somehow. You want to give it to me?
Listen, I stay away from my mom. All right.
I ain't got
Hey, you know what? If you want to if my mom is not single, so my dad would be very upset about this. But if you want to make a pitch to my mom right now, maybe she's listening. Maybe she'll hear this.
That's all right. I've been destroying houses. I've been home wrecking since 2020. It's all right.
Well, I do believe it.
I do agree with you there, though. Hot moms are the thing, man.
See, even you get it. You've been dissing on me this entire time. You
Exactly.
understand
I'll
one
back
thing.
them on the hot mom. Shit. Nothing wrong with that.
Exactly.
Well, all right. Before you go, if there's anything else that you want to plug or promote while you're here, you have the time to do it.
All right, well, I'll say this. Justin and Xavier, you better keep both eyes open because I still am not done with you. I have unfinished business to do with you. But that's like the only thing I had to say. If you want to follow me on my social media, it's Facebook, Jayden Jett. On Instagram, it is Jayden Jett as well. Jayden Jett _. And then I also am on Twitter. It is Jayden _Jett _.
All right, there you go. Thank you very much for joining us. Enjoy the moms. Enjoy the Zero Gravity title while you have it, and don't lose that.
Well, I have it. I'm gonna have that for a while.
Right. Well, we'll see you in a couple weeks, man.
All right.
All right. We'll see you.
All right. See you.